everyone, it's Sophie. Welcome back. Today I'm gonna do a review of Hermes Constance bags. I'm gonna show you the vintage Hermes Constance bag versus the current collection Hermes Constance bag. So let's get started. Whenever you talk about Hermes classic bag, you're always gonna think about Hermes Birkin or Kelly, but Hermes Constance is one of their iconic bags. Constance bag is not considered a quota bag, meaning that you can buy as many Constance bags as you want, versus Birkin or Kelly, you can only get one Birkin or one Kelly per calendar year. But in reality, Constance bags are just as hard to get as Hermes Birkins or Kellys. Okay, those two bags are not mine. I wish I could have them. Those are two pieces I borrowed from Simply Chic Boutique, which is a luxury consignment boutique in San Francisco. If you haven't watched my previous video, please do so. You will know more about Simply Chic. Okay, back to those bags. On my right hand is an Hermes vintage Constance bag. On my left hand is a Constance bag from their current collection. So I'm gonna talk about the structure of those bags, the differences, pros and cons. First, let's check out the current Constance bag. This is a mini version of the Constance. It is called Constance 19, meaning that it is 19 centimeters long. There's one size bigger, which is Constance 24 centimeters long. The bag is more of a square shape. This is the front, and this is the back. On the front, there is a big H logo. Hermes does the H in different types of hardware. Silver hardware, gold-plated hardware. In rare cases, Hermes does enamel hardware or lizard skin for the H buckle. So the trick to open the Constance bag is to pull this hardware lightly up. So you click it open. And inside, there are two compartments. For the first compartment, there's a little pocket at the front. For the second compartment, there's a little pocket at the back. So it's a very simple structure. As you can see, there is no pocket at the back. Constance bag has a long strap. You cannot adjust the length of the strap. However, you can pull this bottom part, pull it upward, and it becomes a double strap. Next, the vintage Constance bag. For vintage Constance bag, usually there is just one size, which is 23 centimeters long. The shape of the bag is more like a rectangular. This is the front with the big H buckle. At the back, there is a large pocket. This vintage Constance bag has gold-plated hardware. The way of opening the H buckle is the same as the current Constance bag. Simply lift it up and open. Inside, there is just one large compartment. A pocket at the front and a zip pocket at the back. This is the strap. The length of the strap is not adjustable, but you can pull this bottom part up and it becomes a double strap. The main difference of those two bags is not the size, because the current collection has the larger size, which is very similar to the vintage bag. The main difference is the side. As you can see, the side of the current Constance bag is bulkier than the vintage Constance bag. See, there are two compartments. For the vintage Constance bag, there is just one compartment. And the back, the current Constance bag doesn't have any pocket. But for vintage Constance bag, there is one big pocket at the back. Let's compare the strap lengths. The bigger Constance bag clearly has a shorter strap. You can see here for the double strap or here as single strap. And the other difference is the leather. As you may know, Hermes has different types of leather. For vintage Constance bag, box leather is the most common leather that they use. Box leather is very smooth, has a very luxurious shine to it, but easy to get scratches. For the inside of the bag, they often use lambskin, and this leather is extremely soft to touch. It feels like baby skin, very buttery. Box leather is also lightweight. I personally love the Hermes vintage bag because the leather and the hardware they used have superior quality. For example, this one is over 30 years old, but look at that. It doesn't look beat up. Although there are scratches on the exterior of the bag, it's not that noticeable, to be honest. The hardware is in good shape. It has small scratches, of course, but it doesn't tarnish. For the current Constance bag, they often use Epsom, which is a leather that is very stiff, has a pattern to it, sort of like the Saffiano leather. Another leather that is common for Constance bag is Evercolor. Evercolor is sort of like Togo. The grain is smaller than Togo. It is more lightweight than Togo. Another leather they often use is swift leather. So swift leather is kind of similar to box leather, but is softer to touch and is more delicate even than box leather. They do the lining of the current collection in lambskin as well, which is so soft and buttery to touch. Personally, I love the box leather and Evercolor. In terms of durability, I think they are equal. Box leather may show some scratches, but that is kind of the vintage looking. And if you use your finger or leather lotion to buff it out, you could. For Evercolor, it doesn't show the scratches as much as box leather. So if you're the type of person who are more concerned about scratches or wear and tear in general, you may go for Evercolor. Let's talk about the price. The price of a regular leather Constance bag is between $8,000 to $9,000 US, depending on what type of leather you are getting. For example, sweat leather is more expensive than Epsom leather. If you are getting exotic skin leather, like lizard skin or alligator, the prices are even more expensive. For vintage Constance bag, the price is usually around $3,000 to $6,000 or $7,000 depending on the condition and color and hardware. So apparently the vintage Constance bag is more affordable than the current collection. Now let's talk about pros and cons. So pros, those bags are extremely easy to wear. You can wear them as shoulder bags or crossbody bags, and they are very easy to pair with outfit. You can do casual look or a more glamorous, luxurious look. Second pro, they are truly investment bags. They are considered iconic, classic Hermes bags, and they hold their values extremely well. Third pro, they are very lightweight. See, I make the videos just holding them and I feel nothing. For the cons, first of all, they are pricey. Even for the vintage Constance bag, it still costs thousands of dollars. For the current Constance bag, it's very hard to get. Well, if you're lucky, you could get one, but often you have to accumulate your purchase history, meaning that you have to buy something else to show Hermes that you are a loyal customer, and the sales associate may offer you a Constance bag. So for the cons, actually I cannot think another bad thing about those bags except the price. Well, I guess they're called iconic and classic Hermes bags for reasons. So now let me show you the model shots of the two bags. So that's for today's video of Hermes Constance bag review and comparison. Those Constance bags are available for purchase in Simply Chic Boutique. I will link all the information in the description box down below. If you're interested, check them out. I hope you enjoyed this video and find it helpful. If you do, please thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye!